your day like a champion with Dewa 539 direct. Wind down with a win at 7 p.m. with numbers 1 to 39. The odds are stacked in your favor. Multiply your stakes with 5 Ghana CD and above by a jaw-dropping 5,000 with direct 4 and 50,000 on direct 5 when all your numbers match the draw results. All you have to do is play now and watch your mobile wallet fill up with winnings, and you have to dial *446# or visit dewanla.com to win. And now we take a quick breather. When we return, we get into the discussion proper.
I want to watch the match.
Even watches Ghana football these days.
Do you know Charles Taylor?
The president.
Charles the Terror Taylor. He terrorized defenses with his dribbles. Who know Dombote?
TV, and it's match day 5 as we wrap up our coverage here at the Accra Sports Stadium. It is Heart of Folk who are hosting Heart of Lions, and I said earlier that I've been joined by Felix Romack and Alfred Nelson. Now, good afternoon, gentlemen. Let me start with you, Felix. Big one. 2 teams who are currently unbeaten. It's one that you can't even predict.
Yeah, but I think that the Phobians will be very optimistic about this one, because if you look at the last 3 meetings, in Accra against Heart of Lions, they've had the upper hand. They beat them last season here, in fact, at the Legon Sports Complex. And then in 2 preseason games, that was the top 4 they won, and then also in the World Cup. So, in recent times, Didi Dramani has had the upper hand in this particular fixtures. But we are playing against a Heart of Folk team that are not conceding. But then again, in the 4 league games that they've played, they've scored only 2 goals. So Lions will be very, very hopeful, especially when they got a very good results against the rivals of Accra Hearts of Oak. That was in Kumasi just last week.
Now, Fred, it's almost like attack versus defense. Heart of Lions have scored 6 goals in 4 games. Hearts have only scored 2, but they've kept a clean sheet. How does this one pan out?
For me, I see that the two teams, they are resolute and resilient at the back. They hardly concede a goal. So it's going to be a cagey encounter. It's going to be a very difficult one. But I'm predicting a 1-1 or a 1-0 win for Accra Hearts of Oak.
Now, there's a big change on the team sheet for Heart of Oak. No Benjamin Asari today. Is that really going to be a problem?
It's a bit dicey because if you look at Benjamin Asari, see, when you go back 2 seasons ago, Hearts of Oak had a huge problem. They didn't know if Richmond Ali was starting goal post or if it was Eric Ofori-Entry or maybe Richie Data until they went to Accra Great Olympics and brought in Benjamin Asari. Asari brought a lot of leadership quality into the team, brought some stability, and then through that, he got a call-up into the national team. But then again, if you are a coach, it would always be difficult. For a player that played about less than 24 hours ago, would you start him in a game like this? And in fact, you also have to allow the player to enjoy the moment of qualifying Ghana to the World Cup, especially when you are now the current #1 for the Blasters. So it's understandable that as a focus, you know, yeah, guy, you qualify the country to the World Cup, have your moments. We can do it without you. But Hearts of Oak will clearly miss his leadership in post in a huge game like this one.
Now, Alfred, if you look at the two teams, the midfield has been their main engine. But today, Hussein is not starting the game. For Heart of Lions, that partnership between Dogley and Ishmael Ado seems to be working. Can it really make the difference today?
Hearts are playing a 4-2-3-1, and they are going to create an overload in midfield. Kwanzaa will have to drop to make their midfield 3. And if he doesn't drop well, that means Hearts is going to multiply, get the numbers there, and Hearts will dominate there. So it depends on Kwanzaa. If he's able to do the backward press, then it's going to be fine. But if not, then Hearts is going to dominate the midfield.
Heart of Oak need goals. Frank Duku back into the starting 11.
It's been a very huge challenge for Hearts of Oak. And I've been saying this, see, the success of Hearts of Oak has been built on goal scoring. You go way back, you know, Shamoke was scoring. At a point, Don Botoye and Charles Taylor were fighting for the goal king. We've had Prince of Goals, we've had Mahatma O2, we've had, you know, Emmanuel Oseko. But even if you go back 4 seasons ago when Hearts of Oak won the league, they had a certain Barney Efriye who only scored 7 goals at a point. So the Phobians have been struggling to get a goal scorer. But we say this, you know, defense wins you title, but you also have to start scoring. And that is one thing that I'm sure Marcel Dramani would have worked on. But they need goals in this particular game, especially when you are coming into a game against a side that are very difficult to break down.
Both teams are at the Accra Sports Stadium, and the game will be starting pretty shortly. That is how they warmed up for this big one, Heart of Lions against Heart of Oak. Two teams who are currently unbeaten in the Ghana Premier League. Now, from the coach's perspective, Alfred, these are two very experienced managers. One has been outside the Ghana Premier League for over a decade. The other, that is Bashir Hayford, has been in and around. How can they cancel each other out?
I think Coach Bash plays the traditional 4-4-2. Coach Masoud Didi Dramani's own is like a script. Hearts of Oak are not playing well because some players are not moving very well on the pitch. But I believe when they get the mobility, the fluidity, the telepathy, then they are going to be great. I see a little bit of edge when it comes to Masoud Didi Dramani because I feel he has put a lot into this team and it has not materialized yet. I think a time is coming, we will all see it. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens in the first 45 minutes. The teams are in the tunnel and ready to come out and do battle. It is Heart of Oak against Heart of Lions on TV3 and on Nya TV. And I hand you over to our team of commentators, Benjamin, Willie Graham, and Josiah Okokwe.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Accra Sports Stadium. This is a match that really is greeting all of us into something special there from the capital's broad streets. Match the Phobians, Hearts of Oak, giants draped in history, carrying the weight of legacy and expectation. But from Pando comes in the fearless challengers, Hearts of Lions, unyielding, roaring with defiance, and they are ready to test the pulse of greatness. And this is where we are. Yesterday, the Accra Sports Stadium became a cauldron of emotions because the stands came with lots of colors and fireworks. The drums dropped like the heartbeat of a nation because the Black Stars certainly had to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. But that is all about to change today because game is for the two hearts. and that is where they are. They come in knowing that there's a lot at stake, and they have to fight for almost everything. The grass is greener, and so the match is ready. Two points separate the two sides in the Premier League, with Hearts of Oak having 2 wins in 2 draws. With Hearts of Lions, they have 3 wins and 1 draw after 4 matches played in the campaign. Both teams are unbeaten in the 2025-26 league, with 2 sides aiming to win the title. I tell you what, it's Hearts of Lions who come into this game knowing that they are meeting their cousins. Hearts of Lions, Accra Hearts of Oak. Match officials for this afternoon's encounter already lined up to tell us that they are also physically ready and their presence is felt. Maxwell Hansing is the match center referee, Minka Il Fauzin and Augustine Afu, assistant referees, and Gideon E. Kofi, the 4th official for this afternoon's encounter. Hearts of Oak have the upper hand over Hearts of Lions in recent meetings, with Coach Didi Dramani having defeated his counterpart there. And 2-0, it was the scoreline against the Lions in the Home World Cup. And then the Gaka top 4, you did see a drawn game between the two sides. And so basically looking forward to the performance that the two sides will come into the game with. It's something special that they really want to see. But if you talk about the sort of strength that the Hearts of Lions to come into the game with, they have a lot to give you. And so Coach Bashir Hereford knows that it's going to be a daunting one, he said, against Hearts of Oak today.
On match week 4, visited Bichim United in Bichim. It was a very, very huge game for them. Unfortunately, they walked back to Accra with a point. Heart of Lions were in Kumasi, and it was the same result for them. They have them puffed, but at least they were okay with a point. And both of them will try to test the attack today, because they know that defensively they are just both up there. Heart of Lions conceding just 1 in 4. Heart of Oak conceding none in 4. It tells you that both teams have formidable defense.
So these two sides will definitely be giving the fans some exciting football, because the Black Stars did give Ghana a lot of football yesterday in qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. And so there's always going to be something for Bashir Hereford, who's seen it all in Ghana football. Power FC, Kumasi Asante Kodoko really has worked and traveled far and wide in Ghana, and working with most of the football clubs in the country, as well as the national team as well.
Yeah, it's the respect this man has garnered over the last couple of years, and even for Heart of Lions, they have utmost respect for him, because a couple of seasons ago, they nearly went down until he came in and he changed the fortunes of this club. Last season, they were challenging for the title. They finished as runners-up, to eventual winners, BBN Gold Stars. This season, they started right where they left off last season, and they are giving it a push. Just 1 draw, 3 wins, in their 4 games. It's just been great for them so far this season.
Well, Hearts of Oak have had to make 3 changes. Benjamin Asari, obviously, is out because he played a match yesterday with the Black Stars, and so comes in Shaib there. There's also a change in the team. It's Hamza Issa also out for Paul Frank Duku, who's coming to replace him, and Abdul Karim also is sitting out after picking up an injury against Bichim United there. And his place will be taken there by Kwesi Asma in this game.
Yeah, and it's that typical 4-4-2 flat for Accra Hearts of Oak. But then you look up front, and it's that natural number 10 in George Parku supporting Duku, and that's where the goals might come in for them. Mind you, Hearts of Oak hasn't had an attacker score a goal this season.
Not much of a change there for Hearts of Lions after the draw against Kumasi Asante Kodoko. It is Paul Atta who is sitting out after picking an ankle injury, and then comes in to replace him Michael Efsing, who's starting there. A left winger is out for a striker in today's game.
Yeah, and that midfield trio, Jogli, Ado, and then also Freeman, and that could be where the magic has been worked for Heart of the Lions. They have so much strength in there, but then also support from Kwejo Bin Jr., and then also up front, they know that they've got some quality to test this Heart of Oak defense that has been unbreakable all season.
It was a packed stadium for when the Black Stars played the game here. And there's a lot that was said to most of the matches played anyway. But as two hearts beat as one purpose, to conquer and to inspire and to rise. So in 90 minutes, there will be glory for some, heartbreak for others. But for Pashing, it is for all of us. This is more than just a match. It is the soul of the Ghanaian football. It's the Ghana Premier League. Hearts of Oak versus Hearts of Lions.
Interesting game, interesting matchup on any day at all. Fortunately, we have this very earlier.
Well, the Phobians will try to start the attack in earnest. Just to the half of Lions. This ball has been kicked out there by Samuel Puama-Kwanza. As the Lions will try to push forward there. It's definitely going to be the first challenge halfway the center line. And there'll be a lot of talking points as to the strength and power there for the man in the 46 share there, Samuel Kwanza.
Yeah, it was needed, and they just had to stop him in his tracks and had to go bumping forward with a lot of men early on in this game, trying to at least just make something work for them in the attacking turn.
The control football there be coming from the two sides and not the expectation from the fans. They are expecting a lot to come in there from Accra Hearts of Oak. There's been little talking points about how they really come into the game. The left back, Chris McKinney, to deal with the situation there for Lions and Fowler and George Paku. He's one of the few players who really hasn't glittered for the Phobians and especially for the fans, but they probably would love to see him do something special today.
Yeah, he's playing as that number 10 right behind Frank Juku, who's a lone striker for them, and he's quite mobile. Has a large skill set as well.
There was a lovely opportunity there for the Phobians. The flag has gone up an offside already. And that was a quick run there for Accra Hearts of Oak.
A smart defended Heart of Lions, and we could see this all afternoon. You know, one tight defense against another sharp attack in Heart of Oak. Despite the fact that they've not seen any of the attackers score, still don't take anything away from them.
Absolutely. A name pitching there, but is able to recover quickly to pick possession for the Lions. And here comes Kwanza. Spreading play to the left-hand side again, but it's been well dealt with by the Phobians. Not much of any pressure there coming in from Ransford Mensah. Esibe. Quality play there from the Phobians as Yaman Kwape, if he's able to find space and try to cut in into the midfield area, has been brought down as well.
They're never under pressure, Accra Hearts of Oak, when it comes to playing from the back end. That's Didi's style, you know, Didi's blueprint. You know, they love to build up from the back. At least one of the two fullbacks could drop, making it a 3, including the goalkeeper.
The Lions were looking very impressive when they started the Premier League season as one of the sides that just jumped onto the Premier League log and began celebrating already and having to tell fans that they have the penchant of probably winning the Premier League title this time, but Hearts of Oak do come in with something special. Well, the Phobians, the fans have been talking about whether the Phobians are able to pick up the title this time. It's a ball straight to the goalkeeper, nearly included almost everybody, but Ishmaelado is able to pick up the ball down the right-hand side. Eche Dogley. Makwabe feet to Shaib. Here comes Bayfeet. Esibe for Hearts of Oak. Well, calmly trying to show the ball sharp into the midfield area, not under any pressure at all. It's Amponsa. Find space down there, left-hand side again. The Phobians who are beginning to exert some of the pressure, trying to unlock the defense of Hearts of Lions. Not quite successful at the moment. Trying to contain the pressure. They're trying to hold on to possession. And here comes Esibe again. One of the players in the Premier League, just like Kwesi Sibo, always well tucked in, gentle on the pitch.
Yeah, quite unorthodox, right?
Absolutely. The Phobians there with a lovely ball into the box once again. It's been headed down, but it's going to be Lawrence Ose's ball.
Yeah, but It's been a careful, steady build-up from Accra Hearts of Oak, and that's how they want to do it. They always want to pick up just the man closest to you, and they hardly go long unless it's with the defense and they want to play a bit more expansive.
Passes ball down to the left-hand side, looking to pick up some bit of a run from Chauncey Freeman, and neatly cleared by Befi. So the 5 minutes gone into this game there. It's Ebenezer Aban here for Hearts of Lions. She's managed the defense beautifully there for the team from the Volta region. And yet again, very sloppy at the back there, giving the ball away. And Sky Curry here. Good display there by Amponsa. And here comes Kelvin Sibe. Once again, it's ball given away. Amponsa could have done better with that pass given to him. But Lawrence was pretty much one of the goalkeepers in the Ghana Premier League, seen as a very calm and the safest pair of hands there for Hearts of Lions.
Yeah, but that was an onside run there from Princess Kwame Usu from the left-hand side. He's not really been familiar playing from that left-hand side. On match day 4 in that trip to Bichim. He just found himself wanting a couple of times. Not really getting the space needed to go a bit volatile.
Yao Danso, again, very poor ball given by Yao Danso. A good turn, beautifully by Kwesi Asma. Martin Kakari. Back in 2003, the very first fixture between the two sides was then played at the Crandall Park, where Lions lost by 3 goals to Accra Hearts of Oak. It was a home match there for Hearts of Lions, and this time Mr. Sibe was being fouled.
Yeah, it was a bit late on Sibe, and again, the Hearts of Oak defender tried to go long there until he was bumped into Kwanzaa. That's how they always like to play. The centre backs always have a good eye for a long pass.
Well, Hearts of Oak really have had a very strong upper hand with Hearts of Lions in the Premier League over the last couple of years since they joined the Premier League season. Ishmael Ado has been very calm this afternoon. Not the kind of Ishmael Ado you know in the Ghana Premier League some years ago, with the one Accra Hearts of Oak, one of the prolific strikers. Well, defensively, they're just giving the balls away, and this time it's Osei who's been tested, and again, has been able to pick it up. And it's Afonso who's pretty much manning things at the midfield there for Accra Hearts of Oak. Again, it's an interesting display there by Hearts of Lions in terms of the ball possession at the back there. They're trying to contain the high press there from Hearts of Oak's Didramani's tactical play. Again, that could be really dangerous. A name here. Yes, Chauncey Freeman. Again, the high press from Accra Hearts of Oak really making things uncomfortable for Lions.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do. Trying to commit as many men as they can forward. Not give them that advantage to play from the back. Trying to destabilize them a bit. But it's all about the quality you have in defense. And Heart of Lions have always proven that they have that quality to play it out from the back. And especially with Lawrence Osei, because you've spoken about him. He's a talent. Not just with the shot-stopping skills, but then also with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, ball given away there by Kwanzaa, picked up beautifully by Amponsa.
That was another long pass, no misplays. About the 4th or 5th one we've seen inside the first 10 minutes here by Accra Hearts of Oak. And that's how they want it, but I just don't think they've warmed up enough. And as you can see, without the ball, you have about 3 of them, trying to press forward and just win that ball as quick as possible.
Shaib here for Hearts of Oak, replacing Benjamin Asari this afternoon's game. Asari is being asked to rest after seeing through the Black Stars' performance. And the last time the Black Stars were at the World Cup back in Qatar, Dee Dramani was one of the assistant coaches there for Coach Otuado.
Yeah, he's learnt a lot, since that time. He's had stints. He's been with Nosjala and quite an experienced gaffer. Since coming in, Hearts of Oak fans really appreciate, that talent, and hard work and discipline he's brought into this team. Last season, they were not so convincing. And Coach Ouattara this season, there's so much positives to pick.
Nadim here trying to recover quickly for Lions. That's so beautifully. A possession back to the Phobians. Martin Kakari again not able to control the ball up the line. Goes out for a throw-in.
So zero conviction shown in the third half for Accra Hearts-Folk. I've seen them press without the ball, but with the ball, it's one misplaced pass or one overhit pass so far for them. That has been the story. Not really seen Duku, who is that lone striker, the target man for them, really get onto any balls for now. And if they would really want to score, then they have to put him through at least balls into the channel, ball to his feet, or to his part at least would help him.
Eche Dogley. Again, that's a very disappointing play there for Kojo Obeng Jr., former Hearts of Oak player, the man who once upon a time was wearing the rainbow colours. Now with the Hearts of Lions. Martin Kakari's ball here, lovely picked up by Accra Hearts of Oak as they try to search forward. Ball sent into the other side. And again, it's able to be picked up beautifully by Oponga Frani. Again, it's the Phobians who get into it very sluggishly, giving possession away and allowing Hearts of Lions to pick things up. And here comes Ishmael Ado. Kwanzaa. Dansu. Dogley. Back to Kwanzaa. Now Eche Dogley again. And Lions in their own half, very comfortably, not under any pressure at all. And ball, once again, it's been given away sloppily. And the Phobians will try to surge here. And Eche Dogley is able to come back to win possession. This is a bit disappointing there for Accra Hearts of Oak as Kwanzaa is able to pick things up here. Chelsea Freeman is just waiting for a bit of a bite of the cherry. And Kwanzaa again now to recycle the ball back.
Yeah, and there's that space between the attacker, that's George Duku up front, and then also the next closest person. He had to do it all on his own, and he just ran into trouble, Eche Dogley, with that good recovery, to just win that ball for Heart of Lions.
Martin Kakari for Hearts of Oak again. He just gives the ball away to Eche Chancery Freeman. Martin again. Lions again struggling to maintain possession there. Back in the 2023-24 season, it was a Wednesday, November 8th. It was match day 5, Hearts of Lions, and Hearts of Oak drew goalless. It was Emmanuel Forise, Hearts of Lions player, he was a valuable player for the match there. But then, in 2024, match day 22, Hearts of Oak beats Hearts of Lions by 2-1. Salim Adam scored in the 15th minute. Lindam Teng in the 64. Mustafa Yakubu also scoring there for Hearts of Lions. Dennis Corsa then. Dennis Corsa has moved to Hearts of Lions. Yet to play any game, but he got the red card in that game. The last time the two sides played at home against it was Hearts of Lions against Dreams FC. Dennis Corsa was sitting amongst the players of Hearts of Lions. And one of the talking points will be about him just getting his paperwork sorted out before he can play a part of the season for Hearts of Lions.
Yeah, perhaps at that left-back position as Enim, this man who's also been, very impressive for Hearts of Lions the last couple of seasons. He helped that team gain qualification to the top flight, and since that time, he's steadily grown into the team, as an integral member of it. Last season helped them finish second in the league as well.
Total of 28 matches played between Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. There's been 14 wins for Accra Hearts of Oak with 21 goals scored. Hearts of Lions only picking 8 wins and scoring 29 of those goals and conceding 6 And yet again, ball just to the far side, not eluding almost everybody throw. 6 of the games have been a drawn, one between Heart of Oak and the Heart of Lions as well.
Yeah, that was another overhit ball from Kakari. Had about 3, Phobians in the box to attack that one. Could see him aiming at Prince Kwabena Wusu, left-hand side. I think for now they've been quite indecisive with their decision making. It made it so easy for the Heart of Lions defense to always regroup and just coil back into their shape, making it difficult for them to find the spaces.
Dogli. And it is the Aban. Ishmaelado. Yao Dansu for Heart of Lions. This is a long one deep into the half of Accra Heart of Oak. Again, it's been repelled beautifully. Now the Phobians.
You'd say it's been sloppy from Heart of Oak so far.
Absolutely.
So sloppy from them. And the fans haven't created any of these attacking actions with any sort of appreciation.
And here comes the power there of Michael Lefsing.
Another, bar challenge there again. Shep pulling the leg being stuck in.
Shaib is the man commanding things at the back there for the Phobians in post. A lovely play here from Lions. Ishmaelado again, just trying to pick up a man. Ball taking off their feet there, and then it's going to be Alban here, defensively mopping things for the goalkeeper, Lawrence, to say.
And for Paku, that's not the kind of ball you'd want to find him with. I think they're just feeding him or finding him wrongly with those long balls. He'd rather deserve that ball to his chest, or to feed closer to him than into space where he doesn't have that pace to chase onto these kind of balls. It's making it so difficult for them, to get him going up front.
One of the talking points in the Lions Kotoko game was how resolute and how compact they were defensively and offensively. And Daniel Nieje formerly played for Accra, Marcia Sante Kotoko, now moved to Heart of Lions as the assistant coach. Since some of the former players of Marcia Sante Kotoko now as assistant coaches in some of the Premier League clubs in the country as well.
I think with that experience and being in the dugout together with Bashir Ford, who is so experienced, that's the kind of confidence they give to these boys week in, week out.
Here comes Kakari, lovely wriggling his way deep into the half of Heart of Lions. And now they try to find some space. Now ball hitting. And again, it's just going wide. Once again, Heart of Oak with that opportunity to at least get the first goal.
Yeah, that was a terrible shot, terrible hit by Amponsan, but then great effort from Kakari, who did it all alone. Wriggled his way through about 3 players and the set up to Amponsan. Decides to strike that one, but that's not going to beat Lawrence Hussein on any day. He had space, he had time to finesse that one into the top corner.
Mensah. Heart of Lions won their first game against Heart of Oak in their 5th season. That was the 9th game in the competition. That was back in January 2008. They beat Heart of Oak by 2-0. And last time the Lions won at Accra Heart of Oak home grounds in the Premier League was back on the 6th of April 2014, match day 24, the 2013-2014 Premier League season. That was way back 11 years ago. What an opportunity now for Bing Jr. Again, the tragic run there from him. Not too sure what the sprint was all about, because that was a real opportunity there for him to at least put Shaib under some bit of pressure.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't getting there. With Heart of Oak, whatever you want to play with a highlight, then definitely you need a sweeper, and that's what Shaib did over the playing as a sweeper on that occasion, because that ball went over the top of every single Heart of Oak defender.
Once up. The Heart of Lions have won 3 out of their 14 visits to the Accra Sports Stadium to play Accra Heart of Oak. The Phobians begin to search for a Juku again. It's not the best of passes there. Phobians again will have to keep the ball away. Very, very disappointingly to the anger and anguish there from the fans who just seen a very poor Hartlepool side. Here comes Johnson Freeman. Ball just hit Kwanzaa. And again, it just goes wide. Sums up the first 20 minutes of this game between Accra Hartlepool and Heart of Lions.
That was a positive play from Heart of Lions. Their first shot, a goal so far in this game. A ball from Kwanzaa, just flying, not even close to hitting the target there. But for Heart of Oak, it's the energy they've approached this game with. It's been a bit lethargic from them. From defensively, yes, they have a very solid record, having not conceded in any of the games they played so far. 360 minutes and more, still counting. They are yet to concede, but up front, they've not really shown promise. No conviction from the Phobians this afternoon.
Well, the Phobians are beating in their last 11 Premier League games. Picked up 7 wins, drawn 4, scored 12 goals, and conceded just 1. Confirming the scoreline here at the Accra Sports Stadium between Heart of Oak and Heart of Lions. The very first game played here, the start of the Premier League, was against a Volta region side, Howard United. Heart of Oak drew goalless, they drew blank, which the fans got a bit disappointed because it was a newly promoted side in the Premier League. And just the last season, when Pasaka Holy Stars also came and picked up a win against Accra Heart of Oak. The first match there as the Phobians try to move up and coming in to take the ball away from Frank Doku. Maxwell Hansen there. Fans really impressed with the call there by Maxwell Hansen. That was a huge tug of war there between George Paku and Ishmael Ado.
Yeah, 2 players with diminutive, structures, and you can see Paku there trying to tag the shape of Ishmael Ado in an attempt to win that ball. We've not really seen that physical aspect of the game. It's just been, free-flowing for now, but quality not really shown in the attacking third by both teams, especially for Hartlepool. They've made a couple of entries into the final third, but nothing really to show for that. I think that was another moment from Kudwa Big Jr. with a run. Made a second faster than just that. That was a bit close. That was just close and sure that flag had stayed downwards, perhaps it would have changed the narrative.
It's an afternoon, very quiet. The fans haven't really come in the numbers, as was the story yesterday. You just watched it and did see a lot of the fans coming in, a lot of traffic in town, but there's Heart of Oak once upon a time commanding so many fan base that the story has changed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's all about how the mighty has fallen, and it's a fan base that's continues to be built over the last couple of years. We've seen Heart of Oak, one of the 2 biggest teams in the country. It's a Monday, but then that hasn't been the story for them. It looks like something has gone wrong over the last couple of years, and I believe that's what they're trying to get back, to solve it. With just 1 league title in the last 5 seasons, it tells you that there's still a lot of problems, pressing issues to be solved within this club.
Defensive work there by Lions has been absolutely great. Freeman. Tribe coming in to declare things there for Lions once again. It's Freeman for Heart of Lions. It's been brought down.
Yeah, no complaints at all from Asma. Is new. He was the offender there. Just brought the player down. His marker just brought him down. And it's all about the 2 teams trying to make up their mind, especially for the home side, Accra Heart of Oak. The tempo has been quite low for them. It's not really been that tempo you'd expect from a team that's trying to
a bit surprising about
win or 3 points in a game like this. It's been low tempo for them, and I believe that's why Didi hasn't really been pleased so far. And there's been spaces to exploit as well, but We've always spoken about the quality in the final third for Accra Hearts of Oak. So far, 2 goals scored in 4 games. It tells you that yes, they've been resolute in defense, but in attack, there's still some more work to be done.
Freeman once again. And Ben Jr. is bound to give it an opportunity for the strength he has. And this time, it will be an opportunity once again for Heart of Lions. How did he miss this one? Wow. That was a sumptuous meal presented on a golden plate for Heart of Lions to get their first goal against Accra Heart of Oak. Ben Jr. doing almost everything right. And this ball was just hit wide there by Michael Efson, the man who is in to replace Paul Atta. What a chance. Absolutely great chance there for Heart of Lions.
Yeah, he's a poacher, and it's quite surprising he didn't hit the back of the net with that strike. All he had to do was to just aim that one on target after all the hard work had been done by Coach Ben Jr. Done so well to fend off a series of challenges to set up Michael Efson. He was known as a poacher, very clinical in front of goal during his days at Samatex. That was an awful strike there, hitting the target.
Once again, there, Lions, Kwanzaa, using his strength to deal with the things in front of him. Abbott and Hennessy at the back there for Lions. Becomes Rafael Mensah to right there. And Heart of Oak are just trying to contain the pressure there from Heart of Lions.
Yeah, gradually the momentum is swinging in favor of Heart of Lions now. After that big chance miss, it's like they're trying to build up on that. It's finding openings, finding men in attacking areas, and that's where Heart of Oak will need to be very, very careful.
I'll tell you what, Josiah, the Heart of Lions are unbeaten in their last 6 games in the Premier League. I picked up 5 wins. They only drawn 1 and scored 10 goals. They beat Bechim United by 2 goals to 1 last season. And also, all the way to Marcia Brancasi beat Nations by 2 goals to 0 as Martin Kakari eats in the box there again. And Chidoki trying to win things out there for Heart of Lions. It's the team from the Volta region really trying to press and win possession back for the Lions side, and George Paku clearly giving possession back to the Phobians.
It's been so sloppy from Heart of Oak.
It's a bit surprising.
Taking a second, slower to even pass that ball. Again, decision making just gone wrong there. Not just what you'd want to see from, this Heart of Oak side.
One of the busiest players in the day. So you see a lot of rush there from the Heart of Lions players. And again, not the best of passes there. It's a bit shocking. And you see some of the balls just being given away, and these fans are not exciting at all because they are expecting a lot of runs there from the Heart of Oak players, but that's just not the story.
No, that hasn't been the story for Accra Heart of Oak this afternoon, especially playing in front of your fans. We've spoken about that match day 1 disappointing draw against Ho United. It was the same attitude they put up. You just need to want it more. It's all about the mindset now. The quality undoubtedly is there. You could see the quality just cutting across the team, but sometimes it's about the attitude towards the game, and I don't believe they've approved this game the first 30 minutes with the right mentality and the right attitude, and that's why we've not seen that quality manifest into anything meaningful up front for them.
Well, again, there will be a lot of talking points about the play of Accra Heart of Oak and Heart of Lions. It's Martin Kakari. He's been doing almost everything. He's got the tricks. He's got almost the strength. And there you have the 2 players just coming out onto each other. Not too sure, again, what the passing arrangement was about.
Exactly. You could see Paku in an offside position trying to just move away, create a bit more space for Kakari. Unfortunately, he rather bumped into Kakari. forcing him to lose the ball. And too many unforced errors as well. And once you start playing those way, you start playing into, your opposition's hands, because that's what they want you to do. It frustrates you and it just gives them the upper hand, and that gives them what they want to attack you. And that's what we saw between the spell for Heart of Lions. They've been missing all game, but the moment Heart of Oak goes to sleep, that's when they also wake up and try to ask questions of their defense.
Dougley Eche, Hennessy, and Danso trying to win some passes there. Hearts of Lions. Half an hour gone already. The Accra Sports Stadium. Obenga Curry, being junior, and this guy is Kwanzaa in the box. Yao Danso. Ishmael Ado. Lions in control. And he's got one foot on the accelerator, and they're trying to make sure that they have their hands on the handbrake whenever there is a situation where they can pull the brakes there. It's a Sibe who has the ball down, but again, he's just been able to pick up possession. Neat and simple there. The goalkeeper came out of his lines to see if we can deal with the situation. There will be some exciting moments here at the Accra Sports Stadium. A bit of a smile there because Sibe is doing his job at the back.
Yes, Ali, and miscommunication there. Earlier on, it was an attack between Martin Kakari and then also George Paku. And this time, look at it, high line, and you're wondering why Schweib is off his line, because Sibe had that one dealt with. And that would have been disastrous if that had landed right in front of a Heart of Lions player. And just look at that. That was uncalled for from the Hearts of Oak shot stopper, because Sibe had that one covered. He actually dealt with that one. It's about time you start questioning the fitness routines of this Hearts of Oak team. They look tired already inside 30 minutes, and they've not really shown any, fight up front. They've just lacked that spirit. The Phobian spirit is just non-existent at this point.
Well, you talked about they be tired, but again, it's time for water break, while the fans will continue to be discussing among themselves what really is going on the last 32 minutes or so in this game. But the worrying situation for Hearts of Oak is that they haven't been that lethargic. They haven't really been that ruthless up front. They haven't seen most of the balls. They're really not threatened, Hearts of Lions in the last 32 minutes of the game. Another problem and another worrying situation for the home side is that they haven't hit any shot on target. And that is Didi Dramani's headache right now.
That's the problem. And Didi seems to be fuming on the touchline. He's not really been happy with the passage of play, especially when they make an entry into the final 10. They've lacked so much quality. They've not been convincing. And, every single pass, every single final pass has really had question marks around it. And that's why Didi is still sending out, information. He just wants them to be simple and more direct. And that's what we've not really seen from Accra Hearts of Oak this afternoon. It's really been an issue for them, and I think that's what they would need to address. They've made it so easy for Heart of Lions in defense to deal with all the balls. Everything thrown at them, they've had answers to it, and you can't win 3 points with such an attitude. You don't win 3 points when you play, sloppily like this in such a high-profile game.
It's week 5 of the Ghana Premier League of the Accra Sports Stadium, Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. Beautiful pass there. The Phobia try to move Bayfi here. And it's past most eluding everybody. Yao Danso here coming in for Hearts of Lions. Again, here comes Ishmael Ado. A lot of space there for Kwanzaa to trigger any attacking play there for Lions. Freeman. Eche Dougley. Trying to dink one there for Efsin. And again, Sibe killing that pass there. Here comes Hearts of Oak. Just up front, Paku. And Kwanzaa. Now comes Sibe. Bayfi. Martin Kakari. And Eche Dougley is able to win things there for Lions. Looking for some bit of options up front. He finds Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa again wants to try alone. Efsin comes in. And again, Hearts of Oak will clear their lines carefully and beautifully. Ransford Mensah on the charge here. Again, Hartlepool just giving the balls away. Absolutely disappointing performance from these players.
Yeah, another unforced error for Hartlepool. They should be very, very worried if they should continue for the next 55, 60 minutes. It's just not going to yield any meaningful result for them. It's just been sloppy, sluggish, too casual from the Phobians. And there's a side that are aiming to win the league this season. You talk to the head coach, and you know that is the ambition of each and everyone. You know, every player of the club. You speak to every technical member, and that's what they have in mind, even before the season, you know, started. And you know, midway through, or even as early as match day 5, you're seeing them playing so sloppily in a game where fans are expectant, where they're expected, you know, to take the game to the opponent, and they've just not done that.
Well, it's 10 minutes to end the first 45 minutes of the game. Still the same story there for Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. There's a Schreib there, the goalkeeper for Accra, Hearts of Oak. We'll have to make sure that Leeds is able to come up with something. Freeman gets a corner kick. Well, again, it's going to be a goal kick, rather, according to Max Johansson. Anyway, it's a change of mind there. It's going to be a corner kick.
Yeah, I think that was a corner kick. Last ball coming off. You know, Young on Baby. After Freeman tried to, you know, hit that one into the box. It's their first corner, and we've not really seen them from set pieces this afternoon because they've had very few and also not in attacking positions as they do now.
Ball to the far post there again. It's been cleared by Hearts of Oak. A very dangerous ball down to the near post there, but the Phobians stood resolute to clear the lines. So coming out there as the Phobians recycle the ball back into the half of Accra Hearts of Oak. Now they have to turn defense into attack. And they have lost possession. They also pick it up again. It's going to be Hearts of Oak position to defend the lines now. Hearts of Lions doing almost everything going right for them. Martin can try bundle down.
And their transitions have been slow so far. You know, there's been times where they just could hit it quicker, and at this point you'd be thinking just one pass from Kakari would have, you know, just beaten about 2 lines, at least just set up an attacking action.
Again, control for Hearts of Oak just in front of Hearts of Lions. Hasn't really been the best as Michael F's in there. Charging, sends the ball down to the far side, looking for Yao down to surround. And it's going to be Spud Mesa. The final touch on the ball there. Got Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions having 2 players to the left there. Need to be attended to.
I think it was as a result of that earlier collision up front between these 2 players. A no foul called by the referee, Maxwell Hansen, but you just question, you know, how they played so far. I just wouldn't want to allude it to that game that was played here yesterday, maybe making the turf a bit not smooth or as smooth as they would have wanted, but you know, in as much as it's not really been smooth, they've not really shown any hunger and determination. But then that was that earlier ball again, you know, the collision over there. Ruben Hennessy just catching Paku there on his shin. I think Maxwell Hansen just saw that one. Perhaps he would have cautioned Ruben Hennessy.
8 players of Accra Hearts of Oak are on just a goal. Enoch Esubonting. And tell you what, 8 players from Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. There you have the technical director of the Ghana Football Association. And Schiffer is here. And, the team manager. So here, and they start watching the game. That's Shadow. So 8 players from Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions, Enoch Esubonting and Hussein Mohammed, Ebenezer Alban, Paul Atej, the likes of Chelsea Freeman, Ishmaelado, Akoli Kojokuma, and Michael Epson. All of them are on 1 goal each there in the Premier League. Total of 6 players from Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions have been awarded the Most Valuable Player award after match day 4 games. We've got Abdul Karim, Raphael Amponsa of Hearts of Oak and Enoch Esubonting, and Lawrence Osei of Hearts of Lions, and H.A. Dogley of Hearts of Lions as well. You've got Coach Otoado and his able assistants in the stands watching the game as well. Some of Buamakwan, some of Hearts of Lions as well. They have all gotten the best players in their respective league matches. But the interesting bit about the two goalkeepers in this game is that Benjamin Asari is on 5 clean sheets after match day 4, while Lawrence Osei of Hearts of Lions has kept 3 clean sheets after match day 4.
Quite impressive, and it tells you the strength of both teams defensively. They've just been so immaculate in defense, especially for Hearts of Oak, who are yet to pick a ball out of their nets this season in the Premier League. For Hearts of Lions, they're scoring 6 goals in 4 games. It's quite okay, 1.5 goals per game, but it's about having someone who would just take a larger share of responsibility, saying, I'll get you the goals. Having 6 different scorers is a good thing because you have the goals being scattered across, but you still need that arrowhead. You need that focal point, that man to lead the attack for you, and I doubt Kojo Jr. is giving them that, for now.
There's been this talk about Coach Bashir Hereford, who has indicated that a lot of the players, especially those that are described as goal poachers or strikers, are rather aggressors, but not goal poachers. And so he thinks that he's got aggressors in Obin Jr. and Efsin, but really hasn't got the goal poaching instincts in them for the goals to come in for Hearts of Lions.
That makes them a bit more defensive than an actual striker. Kojo Obin Jr. scored 13 goals for Hearts of Oak some time back, and you'd always want someone to give you those numbers. At least, it propels you to the league title. Last season, Bibiani Gold Stars had Atakumi hitting double figures for them, and that's what you need sometimes. You need quality up front, someone to get you those goals, to win you points as well.
Well, just the interesting bit about these two sides, back in the 2014-2015 season, Hearts of Oak are unbeaten in their home games against teams based in the Volta region. They've had 5 wins, 1 draw, scored 10 goals, and had conceded 2. They've had to win against Wafa. That was match day 1 back in 2014-2015 season. They also beat Hearts of Lions by 4 goals to 0. They again, in the reverse picture, beat Wafa by 2 goals to 1. Hearts of Lions again beat them by 2 goals to 1 and continue with a 1-0 win against Lions, and draw with Hogwarts United, with the fans still in the stands, with visitors all over the place coming in to say that they want to enjoy and see a goal here. But the linesman is flagged an offside against Hearts of Oak's Frank Doku. Doku was waiting in the box. Now Hearts of Oak in control. They try to search forward. French Governor also again with opportunity to lob the ball deep into the 18-yard box. Kakari is able to drop it down. Single-footed player trying to hit this one from the range. Goes wide. It's gone down, and worried man Bashir Hereford. Scott shows the parts of a few minutes to end the first 45 minutes already, and hasn't seen his side coming out with the goals there. Not too many chances created there by Lions and Hearts of Oak in this game. And there, it's been pretty much of a quiet day in the office there for match officials. Not too many dramatic scenes, are there? Curry. And then Martin again is getting a chance with the right foot there, not his favorite foot, hitting the ball wide. I'm picking signal, so I might be doing 3 minutes of added time after the break there. Comes CCB. We have Franny. Lovely play here. It's Amponsa. Oh, what a play there from Amponsa. How to may have the breakthrough here. Again, he did almost everything right. The final ball was well let him down. Well, it's ever-present Chapter O, the favorite Heart-of-Oak fan base. Used to be a lot of them some years ago, but after the May 9th unfortunate incident, the numbers kept dwindling, and now you can only count about 15, 20 of them. This is not the original musical Chapter O inside. Coming in here. That's a huge challenge there on ICB. Abad. Kwanzaa. Oh, that's a foot-side challenge there. Oh, that's a yellow card there to Chancellor Freeman there. And the foot-side challenge, obviously, is a yellow card offense. Well, the story hasn't really changed that much. It's been the two sides who are here struggling to find momentum, struggling to find the emotions right there. Two teams with the hearts yet pumping some bit of blood there, but it hasn't really come in as expected for the fans. The Heart of Oak and Heart of Lion match day 5 fixture here at the Accra Sports Stadium just after seeing the Black Stars qualify. The pitch has always been available for the two sides. But I tell you what, the story isn't that exciting for the fans once again. Half time here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Heart of Oak nil, Heart of Lions nil.
We've been served some good football here at the Accra Sports Stadium. First 45 minutes done between Heart of Lions and Heart of Oak. And it's goalless yet to record a goal here. But Heart of Lions have had some decent chances, which they've not been able to convert. I'm here with the assistant coach, Daniel Nieje. Daniel, I mean, the first 45 minutes has been a good one for you. You've kept it tight. What needs to change in the second half for you to get the 3 points that you wish for?
I think hitting the target, because we've created a lot of chances, but we have not been able to convert it. So I think during the second half, we are going to work on that, and then I think everything is going to be good for us.
Of course, and we've seen that your midfield has been tight. Ishmael Ado-Dogli, have you been impressed with their performance?
Yeah, they are doing well. I think they are not giving too much spaces for House of Oak to play, so it's good for us.
Let's see what happens in the second half. We wish you all the best. Daniel Nieje is the assistant coach of Heart of Lions. And we also will be joined by the goalkeeper trainer for Heart of Oak, Najao Issa. First 45 minutes, still unable to score goals. What really is the problem?
Well, Murtala, I think this game, all of us knew that it's going to be a tactical game. Both sides are playing and with cautious. If you look at the last 3 outings of both sides, the results will tell you the kind of game that we are all going to witness. It's a very tactical, and then we're still hoping at least something, at least second of lack of concentration, something will happen. Either side, or maybe we are trying to break the opponents, and the opponent is also trying to. But most of the time they play low. Once they play low, we need to keep the ball, maybe use the flanks or something. And I'm thinking that it's a well-tactical game.
A quick one. There's no Benjamin Asare, Sheriff imposed. Have you been impressed by his performance in the first 45 minutes?
Of course, if I don't impress, I will not use Sheriff. If I use Sheriff in the first play, meaning I impose a confidence in Sheriff. That is why I'm using Sheriff. In the game or in the team, you don't register one goalkeeper to play for at least 34 or 30, 35 games or 30 above games. At least you need to take into consideration of injuries and cars or cautious. So using Sheriff in the absence of Asare, Sheriff is tried and tested. During the top 4, we saw Sheriff in our game against Bibiani Gold Stars, and then we saw Sheriff in the President Cup against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So if he kept such a high-profile game, I expect Sheriff to do his best in this particular encounter, and I think that I've imposed a confidence in Sheriff.
So far, so good for Sheriff. Thanks very much, Najau there. So it's goalless here between Heart of Oak and Heart of Lions. And Alfred Nelson and Felix Romack will be joining me pretty shortly to delve into the first half. But we'll take a quick breather here. We will return shortly. Back from that break, you're still watching the Ghana Premier League Match Day 5 here at the Accra Sports Stadium. It is Heart of Oak who are hosting Heart of Lions, and it's goalless at the moment. No goals to record here. My name is Mutale Akubu, and this is on TV3 and on Yat TV, and it's powered by Adisa Production Limited. Phyllis Romack and Alfred Nelson are still here with me. First 45 minutes, it's been a din-don affair. Both teams have them packed, but little have been created, especially in the final third.
Yeah, in the final third, but I think that the best opportunity in the opening 45 minutes fell to Michael Efson. You look at that particular move when there was a 2-1v situation where Obin Jr. had to hold up play very, very well and then lay on a very good pass to Michael Efson. He went for precision. I like that. I don't really like players that always want to go with power, but the precision makes the pool just by inches, and I feel that he should have scored from that particular opportunity. But aside that, it's been a very limited opportunity for both sides. But clearly, Asafok have dominated possession. But the major problem they face this season is Sterling in this particular game, and that has been goal scoring. They are struggling to score goals, and we could see from this particular game. Four games, they scored 2 goals, and we know why, because they don't have a clear finisher to make sure that they bury the chances that they create. I've been a bit disappointed with Martin Kakari. He has possession in good position where I feel that he should be doing better with his final third in terms of passing, but it's been very, very helpful.
Alfred, the Heart of Oak have been able to string passes together, but up front is where they lack a bit. Frank Duku has been light, and it looks like the Heart of Lions defense are comfortable with the way Hearts are playing.
Yeah, the way the Heart of Oak is playing, it will be very easy for Heart of Lions to defend. Martin Karikari and the other guy on the wing, I think they are not doing a lot to give balance to the team. You have to be daring, you have to be adventurous, and once they are not able to give the fullbacks pressure, then it will be easy for them to defend. So I think basically that's why they are not doing too well. Frank Duku doesn't have the strength. I think they need to put passes behind the Heart of Lions defense so that he can outrun them. Okay. But aside that, for him to control, give back and all that, they are not going to get anything from it.
So highlight there for you, Heart of Oak creating very little in the final third. The best chance of the game actually fell to Heart of Lions, but they could not convert that one. Prince Kwabena Usu starting this game for Accra Heart of Oak. Also, that shot that came in from, it was Raphael Amponsa, but it was a comfortable catch for Lawrence. For Heart of Lions, when they are pouring forward, they look very, very dangerous, and that midfield two of H.A. Dogley and Ismail Ado seem to have outrun the Heart of Oak midfield.
They are doing quite well. But then again, you look at the Heart of Oak midfield this season, one particular player. See, we were talking about Benjamin Asari being missed in this game, but I think that they are missing the services of a certain Abdul Karim from Nations FC, the player they signed. It's been excellent. He dictated the pace for them. His passing has been very, very...
Felix, I'm not cutting you. So this was the opportunity you were talking about. It was laid back by Kwejo Obin Jr., and all he had to do was pick his spot, but he missed narrowly.
I think the hold up play, 2v1 situation, you expect to have a very good player in a position to hold up play. Obin Jr. did quite well, laid on a very good pass to Michael Efson. In terms of precision, he went very, very close. I think that you can't fault him. I think that it was just unlucky, but lots of folk were lucky not to have conceded.
Alfred, if you watch Heart of Oak's games this season, the drive in that midfield has been Hussein. Is his absence really affecting the team today?
Yes, of course. He's the one that gives that penetrative passes. He's the one who gives that fluidity and all that. So I think when he comes in the second half, we'll see a different Heart of Oak because he gives the team a lot. He gets the ball in the half spaces and he's able to determine how the team should move.
Now, second half will be pretty straightforward. Heart of Oak will come out pouring. They have a number of good players on the bench. Enoch Esubontin, who has regained his form, is in there. There's also Mauli Wayo and Hamza Issa, who 2 seasons ago was the club's top scorer. Should Coach Masoud Didi Dramani dip his hands into the bench from the word go in the second half?
I think that he will try and maintain the same, starting 11, maybe in 10, 20 minutes, 70th, 65th minutes, he will try and make some change. And I believe that Mohamed Hussein saying, and maybe Hamza Issa, I quite remember the last time they played here against Lions, Hamza was on the score sheet when Lions went high line in that particular game. So yes, there's a tendency that he might bring these two players in to change the course of the game for them.
Of course, and you're talking about Hearts-of-Oak not doing enough in the final third. At the back, they've been very, very good. It looks like that battle between Chauncey Freeman and the likes of Yamaman Kwabefi is going well for Hearts-of-Oak. They are winning all the battle against him.
Yeah, I think so. Esibe and Amankwabefi are very close to Freeman. Freeman is giving them a hell of a time, but I think because they are close to him, they have the pace and everything, they are able to recover as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Now, what needs to change majorly for Hearts-of-Oak going into the second half? Is it the system or the personnel?
I don't think that there's a problem with the system. I think that one of the major things they've lacked in the game is that penetrative passes and then their decision making in the final third, especially with Prince Owusu and then Martin Kakari, because they've seen a lot of the balls in the final third, but their final decision making has been very, very awful, and I think that might change, and that's the reason why I see Ahmed Issa Hamza coming on into this game, because he is very direct. When you give him the ball, he would want to go direct. But I think that Hearts-of-Oak need to change something in midfield. They need creativity, and I'm expecting Mohamed Hussein to come in as quickly as possible.
You are a coach. If you are in Bashir Heffor's situation, what do? You'll be caught in a dilemma whether to throw everything at Hearts-of-Oak or just maintain your calm and go away with a point.
I think they are doing so well with transition and everything. They need to keep their calm, circulate the ball like just the way they are doing it. Hearts will come with everything. They can catch them on a counter break. So I think it's
well,
fun.
let's see what happens with the second half. But we take a quick breather here. You're still watching the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on your TV. We'll be back shortly.
The roar of the Lions refused to fade into silence as they continue to press home. 45 minutes remain. 45 minutes for who is going to decide in terms of the win and whose hearts beat stronger. Hearts-of-Oak, proud and patient, seek to turn possession into some bit of a ghost here, while Hearts of Lions grow with some bit of quiet minutes, ready to strike when the moment opens its door. And so we're still waiting patiently for Didi Dramani's tactical switch in the second half. Both teams remain unchanged. Just getting to the second half there. And There's been a lot of a thinking time and worrying situation there for Hearts of Oak fans who were here to see if the team can breed some bit of goals here.
Heart of Lions, Hennessy, and then also Arban to deal with him. We've also not seen the best, the brilliance of George Parker, and perhaps it could come into play in the next 45.
And so every pass, every tackle, every breed feels like it could dip the scales of fate. The battle of hearts still continue. One forged in tradition and the other Tennessee. And so the whistle calls us back to life. We here at the Accra Sports Stadium for Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. Second half is the next 45 minutes. Our man decide what's going to happen here with Amponsa locating Gracie Asma. And Martin Kakari racing to take possession here for Hearts of Oak as they move into the half. The opportunity for the Phobians again. Ball has been quietly taken away from the Phobians. And Michael Edson is back there trying to chase and put some of the pressure on the centre backs of Accra Hearts of Oak there by David Oponga Frane and Kelvin Esibe. Then Mensah. Baby, all of them trying to work things out there. The heart of defense for Accra Hearts of Oak. The fans will be expecting to see a lot of urgency in their player, Accra Hearts of Oak, in terms of what they bring on the table. Well, the first half was a little bit of a slow start and sloppy passing. Again, they were not able to take advantage of the chances they had right in front of the 18-yard box. And the second half is what might change and was everything. Drift into the half of Hearts of Oak's Mensah. Again, it's an opportunity there for the Phobians once again in the second half here to exert some of the pressure on Hearts of Lions.
Yeah, and they've turned up the heat right inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. And it's clear intention. The pep talk is working, and that's what Didi Dramani wants to see, at least some sense of urgency in the way they play, especially with their transitions from defense to attack. In the first half, it was so sloppy from them.
Corner kick here, advantage there for Hearts of Oak, and ball sending cleared away there. And again, the referee spots a bit of an extension of the air ball. It's going to be a foul there.
Yeah, and that was a good call by the referee. An extended elbow there, catching H and Ugly on the left ear. Just could feel the impact. Trying to just test his jaws to see. And there was even deeper than we thought. Well, he seems fine now. Then for Accra Hearts of Oak, that's what the fans might want to see. The first half had no positives, for them, despite the fact that they managed to defend very well and clear their lines. Attacking-wise, it was just flat and blunt from them.
Martin Kakari here. Thinks one tip to the far post, goes wide. Getting much of the disappointment of the Hearts of Oak fans who definitely are expecting a lot from Martin Kakari.
And he's so creative, so intelligent, and when he's even in his groove, you just expect him to just find his teammate with that one. You could see that Dink trying to locate Prince Kwabra-Usu at the far side, but a bit overhead there.
And Kwanzaa also does the same as Martin Kakari.
They were a tale of two teams, but similar output, similar, just identical. Just below par quality here as far as final balls is concerned from both teams. Earlier on, it was Martin Kakari who overhit one, trying to find his teammate, and this time, the Heart of Lions also not really, we've not really spoken much about them because, they've been on the back foot throughout this game.
Lawrence will say. Freeman. H.A. Dougley. Back to Kwanzaa. Spreading pass down to Obin Jr. Obin Jr. here. Obin Jr. And once again, Hearts of Oak struggling to defend their lines. And Obin Jr. seemed to have lost some of the mojo there. Now the type of sprints that used to be Obin Jr.'s style of play there in the past.
That was an amazing run. Checked onto his left foot. You know, it makes it so difficult for the defender to even track your run. It's either you're going for a pass or you just go for that next step, and that was what he did over there. You know, it was just shot that took a ricochet of the Hearts of Oak bodies in the box.
Corner kick sent in, and he's been headed wide, but again, Hearts of Oak really would have to clear the lines. H.A. Dougley to calmly deal with the situation, find space in Lawrence Osei. Chris McKinney again trying to pick up Epson. Hearts of Oak, the heaviest defeat in the league. History came from the Volta region against Wafa. It was 5-0 dropping of Accra Hearts of Oak. The other club to score 5 goals against Hearts of Oak in a single league match was BA United. That was back in 1963, and they beat Hearts of Oak by 5 goals to 3 in Sunyani. Next up, and this time near post, and Duku couldn't quite get to. And beats Lawrence Osei there, but again, that was a lovely run there by Accra Hearts of Oak.
That was a good ball into the 6-yard box from Ransford Mensah, a bit more direct. Took a deflection there, but you know, Duku also timed his run. It was a bit more diagonal. That's where you need to be very careful dealing with these balls before you end up just tucking it into your own net. You would want this sometimes, not just through the air, but then a bit, you know, downwards for your attackers.
Osei punches it back again to Mensah. Recycles the ball back into the box. Eche missed the opportunity, and the referee spotting a little bit of a push there. So decision going the way of Hearts of Lions.
Yeah. Good call, Maxwell Hansen. There was a chip. It was Duku, the offender. At least these attackers deserve some sumptuous balls into the box. Especially you talk about Duku, previously of Vision FC, and he's been known as a fox in the box type. You know, he's not the paciest on the pitch, but you know, you play to his strength, and definitely you get some goals from him.
Richie already going down after that tackle there. Freeman also picking up a little bit of a notch there. So we have a decision there from Maxwell Hansen.
He's been busy, but the busiest of them all has been H.A. Dougley this afternoon. He's worked tirelessly, not so aggressive, but good on the ball. I understand why he's been so pivotal to Ashley Hayford's setup this season.
Schweib really has a lot of big shoes to fill this afternoon. Benjamin Asari has been one of the safest pair of hands there for Hearts of Oak in the country. And for the Black Stars, there's a huge chase there. And Doku and Abad at each other right now. Trying to drag the ball out of the box now. What's up? Juan Frani. There's a standing tackle there, but the referee says that was a foul. And the decision going against the Hearts of Lions.
For a second, you'd be thinking that was a clean challenge, a bit more aggressive from Ruben Hennessy. You could see the intention when he was just charging down on Prince Kobino Wusu on the left-hand side. he's asking questions because he thought legitimately he had won that ball, and you could see here clearly just got there faster, made contact with the ball, but it was just the aggression and the intention actually lured the referee to give that as a free kick.
A bit debatable there, the call from Maxwell Hansen. I understand why the player was agitated and trying to get the attention of the referee that I think I got a hold of the ball there, on the man. Pretty good advantage there for Accra Hearts. Just 25 yards away from the 12-yard box there, so they might want to hit this one to the near post, and just goes wide again.
Another glaring chance, just flapped. This time the young attacking midfielder Paku, the good delivery. Again, eludes everyone, just missed the target by inches. But you always trust Lawrence Osei to have that one covered.
Well, back in 2010, Hearts of Oak lost to Hearts of Lions by 5-6. Samuel Afum got a hat-trick there for Hearts of Oak. Kofi Ntibwachi and Emmanuel Sebanahini also got the goals there for Lions. Kakari. Eche Doggy. Hennessy. Natafo picked up the possession. Kakari! Saved there by Lawrence Osei. Possession back to the Phobians. Paku. Looking to wriggle his way into the box there. Now Mensah's been giving the bat to the cherry there. Mensah in the box. It's Mensah, drifts the ball back. Hartefok again, missing the opportunity. And yet again, Ponsan was just super late in arriving to tap home the goal there for Hartefok, but he's been given a chance here to set things in motion again. The Phobians beginning to find some of the openings right in front of the goal post of Lions. Martin Kakari has been doing his job there, but Prince again, the Prince Governor Wusu there has been trying his best, getting prodded there from the bench for the work down out of hook. But what a chance that was there from Kakari.
That was a big one. He had options. He had to have passed to a teammate or just, take the hit from that distance. Chose the latter, but Lawrence will say equally up to the task as well. Just look at that. He had options to his left and right, but just decided to shoot that one about 25 yards out. Low on the turf. Lawrence will say that's well to go down in time. Puts his body in behind the ball to save that one.
Just a little bit of a deflection there.
You always wonder if, going for that shot from a distance was just the right decision for Martin Kakari. He's not really known to have that power in that left foot. Quite nimble-footed though, a good dribbler, a trickster as well, but long shots not really the strength.
Again, Hartefok struggling to find some bit of pace up front. Opportunity now for Hartefok. Prince from Osu. Now charging here, Prince goes in. It's got Hennessy to beat. Dragging the ball back again. Has to be recycled into the box there by Mensah. But deal with it with a block there from Eche. Here comes Kwanzaa. Possession back to the Phobians. He's trying to move forward. It's George Papu and Chris Yasma, all of them. And trying to get things going there for the Phobians. Repeat a goal kick there. Interesting play there for the Phobians.
They've not really made the most out of the half chances they've created today, crowd heartbroken. This time another half chance, just squandered.
Change there for Prahat for Hussein Mohammed. Being given the opportunity to come into the game there. To take on the substitution there by Di Dramani.
Yeah, from the left-hand side, he's been ineffective. Prince Kobel Wusu. He's not really loved playing from that side, but Martin Kakari stuck to the right-hand side of attack, and he's had to take his chances from there, which hasn't really been the case for him. You're wondering, a sort of formation now that would be bent into, given the fact that Hussein is also that number 10. So perhaps they could be playing with 2 number 10s together with attacker Duku up front, or perhaps Paku could move to the left-hand side, allowing Hussein to roam freely in the hole right behind Duku.
Hussein Mohammed, who just been given an opportunity here. Hussein Mohammed turns well. And here comes the switch of play. Hartlefolk moving in. George Paku. Again, Hearts of Lions have been pinned back to their own defensive line. Not Meta. Hussein Mohammed. Edge Dudley coming in with the final touch of the ball.
I think that should have been a Heart of Lions ball, but the referee thought otherwise.
Ever since they got a chance to play in the Premier League, Hearts of Lions, they have been one of the boogie sides in the league there. Hussein Mohammed for Hearts of Oak. Hussein Mohammed. Apotsa. Much of an attacking decision there from Hearts of Lions. They seem to be pinned back to their own half and have struggled to get themselves out.
Yeah, their chances are just limited.
Yeah, another very unproductive ball there from Hearts of Lions. No pressure at all, and just decided to hit the ball away.
Just so unproductive. Not purposeful in that throw of the engineer. For a moment, he was thinking that would have been a foul. Just look at that. And that was a dangerous place to lose the ball. Rafael Lamponsa giving away that ball. And again, execution. For Heart of Lions, they've not really created enough chances.
Well, it's going to be a change now for the Lions team with Ishmaelado out. Another change coming in. It's going to be 3 miles in the yellow card already. It's being changed. So it is Albani who's in.
Seems to be like-for-like replacements from the coach, Ashil Hayford. Still have their eye on the prize. They've not just looked away. They've just been a bit more practical and a bit more reserved with the approach, rather choosing to keep more men in defense than committed more men forward, because they know the threat that they could face if they should commit more men forward.
Again, they've got some chances. Still coming in and doing their best.
That was a chance for Kakari. It was a good in-swinging cross into the box there. You're wondering how Kakari managed to just leap, to just get his head on that one. Just look at that. That's so well. Despite having about 2 or 3 Heart of Lions players crowding him, just manages to find his way.
Owusu are trying to come in here. Antonio Owusu trying to push. The ball into the box now. It's going to be Alban who will leave in it.
I think for Heart of Lions coming to this game at the back of that goal is still meeting Kumasi against Kotoko.
Again, it's going to be Abani! Wow. Sharif Abani was just introduced into the game, but there's a chance there for Heart of Lions, and he blasted wide.
For a second, the fans were just quiet. Went from loud to being quiet by Seche Dogli and some excruciating pain lying on the turf. He's really been formidable in midfield for them, but then that was the quick breakaway, and that's what you get sometimes when you commit men forward. Lovely nutmeg there, chucks up to the right foot. Just needed to add a bit of precision to that shot. Good nutmeg there, and Shuaib could only watch from that distance. And for Heart of Oak, this would be the danger they could be looking at in the next couple of minutes. In as much as they feel they would fancy their chances of getting the all-important goal here, there'll be spaces left for Heart of Lions to exploit, and on that occasion, they were just let off the hook.
And this man has been battered and battered in the game in midfield. He's been a man who's controlled the hearts there for Heart of Lions. I tell you what, he's not been able to find things a bit easy, but the ever-present musical chapter O of Accra Heart of Oak, whether the goal hit the back of the net or otherwise, they still will have to drum home and still would have to give us the vibes of the Phobian spirits.
That's just a mandate. It doesn't change regardless of the scoreline, and they've always stuck with this team. Actually been the life and soul of this Heart of Oak team whenever they play.
Yellow card here for Heart of Oaks. It's a Franny. Centre back was picked up a yellow card here.
That was needless to pick. Now it limits you as a defender for the remaining minutes of this game.
Well, he's been pretty much resolute at the back there for Heart of Oak together with Kevin Osesibe. It's going to be NSC who takes this one here. Owusu. Kwanzaa. Here comes NSC. Back to Kwanzaa. Oh, lovely turn here from Kwanzaa. Looking to pick up Albani. The Phobians will still want to move in. This is Aban for Heart of Lions. Osei. Possession lost there as Owusu charging in here. And it's going to be an opportunity. The referee says no, that was a foul.
That was just a good call. Maxwell Hansen, SCB giving away possession cheaply. That ball nearly resulted in a big chance for Heart of Lions. Good recovery by the defense of Heart of Oak.
That's Kojo Kuma, one of the substitutes who was just introduced into the game as well. So the very first time Heart of Oak lost at home in the Premier League was back in 1999 That was March 24th. It was a match day 5 game. It's against Accra Great Olympics, they lost by a goal to nil. Accra Hearts of Oak since then have played 344 home games in the Premier League. Have picked up 210 wins, 84 drawn games, losing 51 of those games. I tell you what, how many goals they've scored? 574 home games they've scored, and always conceded 257. Those are the statistics for Accra Hearts of Oak when it comes to their home matches. And now it's 20 more minutes to end the game, and it's goalless between Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions.
Those are impeccable numbers, but the most important one has to be the next one for them in this game. A goal which could potentially win them this tough game this evening here at Accra Sports Stadium.
Barney again going over the long drive. And has been picked up, collected beautifully there by Schweib.
And that's Asma. Chrissy Asma.
About making some change here, so Aku would have to make way. Martin Kakari is also going to bring up the field now. The changes that will be coming in.
It looks more like attacking substitutions from Masoud Didi Dramani. He's not really giving these 3 available points any chance at all. He just believes, you know, with 19 minutes, some more minutes to be done in this game, he could just throw everything at Heart of Lions and grab the maximum point here. It's all about how they respond, you know, to this tactical tweak in this game.
Well, an interesting decision there to have Mauli Wayo, Inoku Subonting, and that of rookie Jamna in the game. Certainly, we want to change the narrative of how to folk approach the second. Well, the last 18 minutes or so to go. Maxwell Hansen again, stopping play with Hearts of Oak on the attacking spree. Last season, Hearts of Oak lost to Nations FC at the Tuba AstroTurf. That was against Zach Simpson's goal. And that was a home match for Hearts of Oak when they had to leave their Accra Sports Stadium and then play their matches at the Tuba Stadium. It's going to be a foul here. It's a decision there from Maxwell Hansen to make whether it's going to be a yellow card offense to Eche Dogley, who's been very versatile in the Hearts of midfield there for Lions. Yes, a yellow card, and Rocky Jamna is the player who's been pounded down. Yeah, and there's proving his innocence there, but that's Scott's in the act, wasn't he?
Of course, yeah. Rocky Jamna was just faster. Fresh limbs got introduced into the frame not long ago, and definitely he was just going to go past Eche Dogley with ease. He does, and Eche Dogley just had to be cautious and take one for the team. He just needed that because that could have been a bit more disastrous for them if he had allowed him to go past it. He just sneaked past that available space. I've not seen much of Hearts of Oak as far as, you know, set pieces are concerned. Corners, they've been missing. Free kicks, the closest they came was through that Paku in swinging strike. Aside that, nothing promising from the Phobians, and these are the kind of chances you need in games like this.
So got Rocky Jamna and other players just behind the ball and trying to see exactly how they'll be able to hit this ball deep into the box. A lot of tension here in the box. Hearts of Oak players moving in and trying to ring in. The opportunity back to the Phobians. Another ball into the box. H. Dudley with a header. Finally, ball hit wide. Here comes the out of Lions side. Return here. It's going to be a long ball into the box. Swept in. Phobia's going back to win possession. Hussein Mohammed.
Yeah, the body just can't believe it. Just thinking he just tackled Hussein to the turf cleanly. Just look at that. The attacker just racing down, trying to help with defensive duties, and I just believe that was a clean tackle there. That reaction tells you how frustrated it was for him to deal with that decision from the referee.
Final quarter, 2-4. Oh, lovely ball here, and collected beautifully there by Lawrence. Very safe, very clean, very agile as well for Heart of Lions.
And Duku is telling you he's still alive, very much alive in this game with that header. Just lacked power, just not so much power behind it, but does well to just direct it on target. That's just their second shot on target in this game. Heart of Oak had numerous shots at goal. Most of them, or a chunk of them, lacking precision.
To recall, you heard a team known as Stay Cool. Way back in the Premier League in 2003. The very first time Heart of Lions won an away game there, but the ball whipped it into the box. It's played with a diving header here. Recycled to Owusu onto the left-hand side. Into the box. Kujukumo was waiting in there. And once again, it's Antonio Owusu calming things down. NSC. And the flag has gone up on offside there.
Most of their balls just been indecisive again, and just look at that smart defending from Accra Heart of Oak, especially from that defensive unit to play the right back of Heart of Lions. They have done so offside. It's just a fraction offside. We spoke about the strength being in that Heart of Lions midfield, and really been up to the task so far in this game.
Lovely work there, and Lions really trying to find space. In offside position, he never moved Kwanzaa. Just waiting for him to make a little bit of a dash there, but Kwanzaa was still stuck in the mud of offside.
Yeah, a bit of an over-elaboration on the part of Yaudan, so see Kwanzaa just waiting for him to just hit that ball into space for him. At that point, trying his best to stay on side, but just happened to be on the same wavelength with his teammate. At this point, it looks more open than ever.
Rocky Tomna is going to be taking when his yellow card flashed to him. He was just introduced into the game, and he's got a yellow card here for this foul.
Yeah, it was a bit cynical. Start showing that tackle on Owusu. Rocky knew he just wasn't going to escape the referee's judgment.
Aban. Here comes Aban again for Heart of Lions. Yao down so. Once again, another ball to the far post. Here comes Kuma. Kwanzaa. Couldn't go past Isibe. Eche. Dudley. Heads it down beautifully.
And Graham, tell you what, those where it's the most dangerous for Accra down the stretch, last 15 minutes of games where they get dominated by their opponent. Definitely Heart of Lions will fancy their chances.
Yeah, down to here. Opportunity for the ball to be set in again. One of the most interesting deliveries into the box there. I tell you what, into the last 10 minutes of the game there between the two Hearts. And Hearts of Lions all the way from Bando will come with the supporters, with the dancing and drumming here to see if they can get something out of this game.
You have Bashir Hayford, you'll be smiling. Perhaps back-to-back away games against Asante Kotoko Hearts will end in stalemates. Wouldn't really be a bad result, especially if you fail to concede in any of these.
And again, not the best of results there for DJ Man, who's looking for a win after also having a stalemate with Bechem United, and now also going to have this one against Heart of Lions.
Fans have questioned the fitness of this team. The first 15 minutes of games and also the last 15 minutes of games. They've just not shown the right attitude, just that, but then not also responded to, the intensity of games down the stretch as well. What their game against 11 Wonders on the same turf, and what shambolic in the last 15 minutes for them. They got dominated, outplayed, and outclassed. Unfortunately for them, they managed to hold on. In Bechem, it was the same story as well. Solo run, Hussein manages to do it all on his own, and that's the quality he brings to this side.
Change again for Hearts of Oak is Frank Doku, who's being replaced there with Hamza Issa. So the last 8 minutes or so, he played 4.
Defense of Heart of Lions will have to keep an eye on him. Very so sneaky, and very lethal as well. Could punish you, give him just half a chance. That's how dangerous he is, and he loves the big moments as well, Hamza Issa.
Hussein Mohammed. The very first time Hearts of Lions won an away game was back in 2003 against Teku United. It's 1-0 the scoreline. Hearts of Lions here looking to line something up here. Eche and Kwanzaa at each other's way. Now comes Eche. Dances ball into the far post. It's a base header out. Calmly has been dealt to it beautifully. And Hearts of Oak can now sense they have to get the balls into the box now. Lions have played 206 away games, 18,480 minutes so far, 140, 251. Lost 115 of those games and have scored 172 of the goals, conceding 295. The last time Hearts of Lions won an away in the Premier League in September was 2025. Against Teaching 11 Wonders. Has won by 4 goals to 1. They only played one away game. In terms of performances there, they've shown that they have the power to do a lot of things.
And you always do H.E. Dogli. could perhaps be one of the few names you could, pencil for that Man of the Match award in this game. It's been unplayable throughout, and Hearts of Oak have really struggled to deal with his intelligence and then also, craftiness whenever he's in possession of the ball.
Good turn here. Here comes the huge chase, Aban. Showing that he never gives the opportunity to Hearts of Oak's Hamza Issa to do anything, of course, any damage to him.
And the roar from the fans, just in disagreement with the verdict from the referee, but then we have the benefit of the replay, and just look at that. Oh no, I just don't think that comes off. If it is an Aban, just look at that duel over there, a lanky Aban and diminutive Hamza Issa just trying to fight for that ball, and there was no way Hamza Issa was just going to get ahead of him.
Until last 5 minutes of the game. And still goalless between Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions. Lions. Yao Danso takes it nicely, good control. Danso again is going to be prevented from getting to the box, and yes, that's a good call.
Yeah, that was a good call. Also just dropped the shoulder, hoping Hussein would just fall for it. Hussein never dropped his guard there. It's a lovely touch from Danso to bring that down, and see how he just dropped the shoulder. He's trying to finesse his way around Hussein. So he just sticks his eyes on the ball, fixated.
Here comes the Phobians once again, just right in front of the 18-yard box. And now ball hit wide again. It's just a good effort, but not enough to hit the back of the net.
And Rocky Drum now has injected some energy, some sense of urgency as well in attack for Accra Hearts of Oak is coming on, and lovely skill to go past H. Ogli. Just needed just half a yard there, or even less, to strike that one.
Here comes Lions. They're trying to hit this one at the best of strikes.
We'll have to be very, very careful. They're bumping forward in search for that all-important winner. Now they're leaving spaces behind.
The last 3 minutes or so of the game to go for. Still hasn't been the performance the fans expect to see. Hearts of Oak and Hearts of Lions have had some interesting performances in the month of October. Hearts of Oak have picked up 15 wins, 9 drawn and lost 4 games in the month of October, scored 39 and conceded 17. Some of the matches played in the month of October for Accra Hearts of Oak was back in 2011, Mighty Jets, Brecum Chelsea. Have had to pick up a 5-2 win against New Biase. The offside flag already gone up. And they've drawn in some interesting games in the month of October. Drew back in 2023 against Dreams FC and Summertex in Adriana at home. All those matches in the month of October were goalless.
It just gives you an indication. Sometimes history plays a minimal role in the present, happenings. But at this point, you could tell it's glaring. They might be looking at another goalless still bit in the month of October. Yeah, it's not worked so hard for me. I just don't think they've really pushed enough.
Rocky Drum now. And Hennessy with a timely intervention. And for Lions again, they have to also give the ball away, allowing Hearts of Oak to now keep possession and push more men forward. This is a good turn here. They might want to say they want to score here. Possession, kept in play. The flag has gone up for offside.
A quick reaction there by the linesman. And Hamza always attacking the channels there. And good call. A fraction offside there. At this point, it's always difficult to keep concentration levels at its peak, and that's what Heart of Lions are doing now. They've spent, a chunk of the game defending, but they've never ever lost concentration.
It's been 3 matches so far played in the month of October between Heart of Oak and Heart of Lions. Heart of Oak picking up a win, scoring 4 goals. Heart of Lions also picking up 1 win and scoring 3 goals. One of those meetings have been a draw. And, match day 26 in 2005, Heart of Oak beat Heart of Lions by 3 goals to 0. It was a home match for Heart of Lions. In 2009 and 2010 season, match day 1, Heart of Lions beat Heart of Oak by 2 goals to 0. And then they drew 1-1, match day 7, back in the 2013-2014 season. These matches were played in October as well. Hussein Mohammed. For 3 minutes of added time. Another ball to the far post once again. Looting almost everybody. And Hussein Mohammed will pick the pieces up for Accra Hearts of Oak into the last 3 minutes here. H.A. Dogley is already on the yellow card. Must be exactly certain that at least he got almost everything right in that situation. And Maxwell Hansen was right at the 18-yard box and saw everything, and so he says that's going to be a goal kick.
Of course, very close to the action, in close proximity then. It looked as if Hussein just wanted it. That was the intention, just to go down after that contact, minimum contact there from H.A. Dogley. H.A. Dogley, so careful, very cautious not to give away any silly penalty at this point. He did that so well with his defensive duties.
Hearts of Oak have played 14 matches on Mondays in the Premier League. They've won 7, they've drawn 5, lost 2 and scored 18, as well as conceding 11 of those goals there. And all the matches played on Mondays for Accra Hearts of Oak, they have scored. This might be the only match played on Mondays there for Accra Hearts of Oak in the Premier League that they haven't scored a goal.
I mean, it used to be a happy Monday for Heart of Oak until Heart of Lions came to town.
Well, I tell you what, back in 2017, match day 1 there, Hearts of Oak drew goalless with Inter Allies.
The history again playing a huge role. And there's still time in it.
The Heart of Lions have played 7 games on Mondays in the Premier League since 2003. They've just won 1 of those games. They've drawn 4, lost 2, have scored 12 goals, conceding 11.
A minute left in the clock. There's a time you expect them to hit some long balls and go a bit more direct.
There's the Phobians once again in the box. Phobia would have to find a way to go past Lawrence Osei. Again, standing between a stalemate and a defeat there for the side.
Yes, Zali has decided the fate of this game. With those great saves early on from, we saw one from Martin Kukarian.
Well, again, it's going to be Asafokian blasting the ball wide with just seconds to go. Much to the chagrin and screams there from the fans. Certainly not the Heart of Oak of old.
No, it's just the most bizarre option he just took there. Down the stretch. Thinking the pass to a nearest teammate would have just worked the magic for Heart of Oak. Just decides to pounce on that with so much aggression, so much power. That would in trouble Lawrence Osei anyway.
Well, the 8th game played on a Monday for Hearts of Lions. This is the very first time Hearts of Lions have drawn a game on a Monday in the Ghana Premier League since 2003. And Accra Hearts of Oak, there are 15 games played on Monday here in the Ghana Premier League, and they have drawn goalless. They drew goalless with Bechem United. Hearts of Lions drew goalless with Kumasi Asante Kodoko, and now the second time in a row that these two teams have failed to score. Full time, Hearts of Oak 0, Hearts of Lions 0.
So after 90 minutes of exciting football here at the Accra Sports Stadium, and goalless between Heart of Lions and Heart of Oak, and I've been joined by the manager of the Kwando-based club, Bashir Hayford. Coach, 90 minutes of football, 1 point going home. What is your overall assessment of your team's play?
Well, I think we have done very well. It is a tough game, as you started by saying it. And I think my boys have been able to manage them. And 1 point away, I think it's enough. Now we are playing away 3. We have played 2. We have gotten 2 points. We are going. So we have to make amends at home.
Of course. And you've seen the team play today. What needs to change going into that next game against Gold Stars?
When we go back home, we'll do the needful. And then we'll see what we can do when we go to the Gold Stars.
Thanks very much, Coach, and wish you the very best.
Thank
Coach
you very much.
Bashir Hayford there, securing the points with Heart of Lions here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Big one for them. It still means that Heart of Lions are unbeaten in this CS League. I'll be joined by Masoud Didi Dramani shortly, the head coach of Heart of Oak, and he has joined me. Coach, I mean, it's not the result you were hoping for, but which aspect of the game pleased you most?
I think that we have always spoken about how we try as much as possible to control the game and then to try to also control the opponent, more especially when we are not in possession. And the opponent can also be very, very dangerous because they are also very strong in terms of their transitional play.
5 games, 2 goals. Are you worried by the lack of goal scoring?
Yeah, every coach will be worried in this instance. But I think that the most important aspect of the game is what we are doing, that we have an identity, that we try as much as possible to create the spaces and then try as much as possible to control the opponent when they have the right moments. And so I think that it is the next phase that we need to intensify. We've been doing a lot in this regard. I don't have to justify this, but I think that it is still a work in progress.
Next game, Brecum Chelsea, what should the fans expect?
When we get there, we'll cross it. And so we are very positive in whatever we're doing. For us, we don't care whether we are playing at home or we are playing away. Every game is as important as it is, whether playing at home or playing away.
Coach, we wish you the very best in your next game against Brecum Chelsea. Coach Masoud Didi Dramani is the manager of Heart of Oak. So it's ended here goalless, and both teams are going home with 1 point each. My name is Mutalai Akubu, and this has been match day 5 of the Ghana Premier League here at the Accra Sports Stadium between Heart of Oak and Heart of Lions. I did this with Felix Romack and, of course, Alfred Nelson as well. And Benjamin Willie Graham was in commentary position with Josiah Okokwe. From us here at the Accra Sports Stadium, we say have a good evening and see you for match day 6.